Hello guys, in this video today we are going to talk about human brain and different parts of human brain and their functions. Brain is actually the part of the central nervous system, so it is necessary to talk about central nervous system before going to study and talk about the brain. What is central nervous system? Central nervous system or CNS consists of brain and spinal cord. Brain is present in the skull, while the spinal cord extends from the posterior side of brain in the form of a long rope-like structure. It travels through vertebral column and extends from neck to the end of backbone. Skull and spinal cord provides protection to the central nervous system. Beneath the cranium, the brain and spinal cord are also protected by a top membrane which is called meninges, which is composed of layers, 3 layers. Between these layers of meninges, a fluid is present which is called cerebrospinal fluid. This fluid is similar in composition to blood plasma. It bathes the neurons of brain and spinal cord and cushions against the physical and mechanical stresses like bumps and jolts. So now we will come to the brain. Human brain can be divided into 3 parts: forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. We are going to discuss about each part of the brain in the next slide. Forebrain is the anterior part of the brain. It can further be differentiated into 3 functional parts, which is the cerebrum, the thalamus and the limbic system. So forebrain consists of 3 functional parts, and we will study about these 3 parts now in the next slide. As I said earlier, that forebrain has 3 main parts: cerebrum, thalamus and the limbic system. Cerebrum is the largest part of the brain. It is divided into 2 halls which are called cerebral hemispheres. These halls communicate with each other by means of a large band of axons which is called corpus callosum. The outer region of the cerebrum called cerebral cortex. It is thrown into folds and convolutions which increase its surface area. This is the most important part of the brain. It receives sensory information, processes it, stores some in memory for future use, direct voluntary movement, and are responsible for intelligence, thinking, reasoning, and decision making. Speech center is also present in this part of the brain, which is unique to human beings. The second part of the forebrain is thalamus. Thalamus carries sensory information, especially from eyes and ears, and generally from skin and other internal organs of the body, to the limbic system and cerebrum. Under the thalamus there lies hypothalamus, which is the part of the limbic system. To it is attached a very important gland of the body, which is called pituitary gland. Although it is a small gland about the size of a pea, but its secretion plays some of the most important function of our body, like growth, reproduction, etc. The third part of the forebrain is the limbic system. It is located in an arc between the thalamus and cerebrum. This system controls the responses like hunger, thirst, fear, anger, tranquility, pleasure and sexual responses. Portion of the limbic system is also important in the formation of memories. Here in this diagram of the brain, we can see different parts of the brain. One of the largest part, it's a folding like structure, which is the largest part. This is the cerebrum, which is divided into two halls, and it is protected by a cerebral cortex, and these two halls communicate with each other with corpus callosum. If you look at the structure and the names of the parts which are mentioned in this diagram, you can see it clearly. And here is the midbrain, which is reduced in human and is present under the cerebral hemisphere, and it controls the reflex movement of eyes and hearing reflexes. In hindbrain we can see the parts cerebellum, pons, and medulla oblongata. Cerebellum controls balance of the body and coordinates the voluntary movement of the body as well. Pons is located above the medulla. It controls transition between sleep and wakefulness and the rate and pattern of breathing as well. Medulla oblongata is the posterior part of the brain. It controls automatic function like breathing, heart rate, circulation of blood, blood pressure, swallowing, and vomiting. So this is the structure and diagram of the human brain. Look at these parts carefully and try to understand the structure of human brain. Midbrain, as I said, it these controls the reflex movement of eyes and hearing reflexes, and midbrain is a relay center that connects forebrain with hindbrain, and it is reduced in human and is present under the cerebral hemisphere. Hindbrain consists of cerebellum, pons, and medulla oblongata. Cerebellum controls balance of the body and coordinates the voluntary movements of the body as well. We can pick up a book from a table or touch your foot without mistake because of a healthy cerebellum. It is also involved in the learning and memory storage for showing different behaviors. Pons is located above the medulla. It controls transition between sleep and wakefulness and the rate and pattern of breathing. Medulla oblongata is the posterior part of the brain. It controls automatic function like breathing, heart rate, circulation of blood, and vomiting, etc. I hope you have learned something from this video. If you like my video, please subscribe to my channel. And if you have any comments or advice, please write it down in the comments box. Thank you very much for watching.